What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, creator of the Outright Bar, and Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com. Flex Wheeler, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Although he never won a Sandow, Mr. Olympia, he is the epitome of the golden era, the 90s and early 2000s, the Ronnie Coleman era of bodybuilding. Flex Wheeler competed against Dorian Yates, gave him a run for his money along with Kevin Levrone. Competed against Ronnie Coleman, had a lot of mishaps. He had a car accident where he said that, I believe, ninjas attacked him. He just had a lot of bad shakes in his career. But he's known for his amazing lines, his amazing symmetry, his amazing fullness, muscle bellies, his amazing posing. He was one of my favorite bodybuilders when I was getting into the scene. You know, 1998, 1999. Flex Wheeler was the dude. He was the dude. Even all these questions about, did he have a myostatin, which is the growth inhibitor gene deficiency, which caused him to be so amazing. Unfortunately, Flex Wheeler's career came to an end due to a, genetic kidney condition. Although Flex made a comeback in classic physique and looked pretty friggin' good, Flex, when he announced his retirement, it was a huge shock to the world, because I still thought he had a chance to bring it if he actually brought it together, if he got serious with his training and with his genetics. Who knows how long he could have gone in the sport. We just heard that Flex had part of his leg amputated due to, I believe, is a embolism in his leg. I don't know the full details. I don't think anybody does. Flex is supposed to speak on it. He went in last week, and they had to amputate part of his leg. So Flex Wheeler, a gentleman, one of the greatest bodybuilders who ever lived, who ever graced the stage. Our heartfelt well wishes go out to you. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You might not remember, but when you were competing back in the day, I was at Weider Publications, and we ran into each other a few times. I was in my early 20s, late teens. You probably don't remember. That's all good. But all the respect as a competitor, as a warrior, and as a true ambassador for the sport. Now that you're out of the game, you've been doing it a long time, muscular development, all the stuff you've been doing. Nothing but love for Flex Wheeler. But I would like to, as I did when Dallas McCarver unfortunately passed away at such a young age, Rich Piana passed away at 44, which is an extremely young age for a fit individual to pass away. I would just like to use this as a moment to put you guys in perspective, to give you guys something to think about. Flex Wheeler, obviously at the top of his game, pushed the envelope with steroid use, as did Dallas McCarver, as did Rich Piana. While we have data showing that TRT doses, or hormone replacement, testosterone replacement therapy doses, low doses of steroids can be not only not unhealthy, but also healthy if you are deficient in the hormone long term. With the insulin, the egregious amounts of steroids being used, all the growth hormones, all the secretagogues, all the IGFs, all the peptides that these guys are thrown into their body, we don't know if that was a contributing factor to what happened. We don't know. We don't know if steroids in an excessive amount cause death. We don't know. There's no long-term studies on healthy young males using steroids throughout their lives. All we have is case studies. We've had some unfortunate deaths. Matarazzo. I forgot the name of the gentleman. He was actually Masters Olympia a few years ago. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. You know, you've had obviously Moonzer back in the day. Again, we go McCarver, Piana, yada, yada, yada. We've had unfortunate deaths to well-known bodybuilders, right? And Matt Porter, another one, not pro level, but a guy who again, just recently passed away. Whether it was from drug use or not, I'm not going to state that, even if it was. That's disrespectful. But I think as someone who's gotten involved in the illicit side of steroid use, I don't know if I took years off my life. I don't know that. I had a goal in mind, and I didn't care what it took to get there. And I thought, hey, maybe long term it'll be fine. I'll just clean it up later. But the problem is it's hard to stop. While steroids aren't heroin, they're not inherently addictive. There are some mental things that go on when you're on steroids. Anything with a positive or negative reaction can be addictive. You're addicted to the pump. You're addicted to the feeling. You're addicted to the muscle gain. You're addicted to that. Testosterone is the male hormone. It's a hormone of aggression. You're addicted to that feeling of being alpha. You get addicted to gains. So steroids, most definitely addictive. So to actually come off and stop, say you stop it, shit goes crazy. Testosterone drops, estrogen rises, serotonin, melatonin, all the brain hormones go crazy. You lose gain, so you'll be depressed. And then you basically your physique becomes your identity. So you're not able to come off of that. So then you hit your peak, what you can hit with the doses you're taking. So you increase the dose more and more and more and more. And then steroids aren't enough. So you add in GH. Then you take more and more and more. GH isn't enough. You add in insulin to the point where you're taking multiple IUs a day with every carb meal, getting hypoglycemic, always carrying a can of soda around in case you die. That's not enough. You go to peptides. You're buying stuff from websites that are research chemicals. And then you want to lose some fat. You look at DNP, which literally will burn your body from the inside and kill you. And not only that, you have more muscle. Your body has more mass to pump blood to. Your heart's working faster. Steroids cause hypertrophy. Your heart's beating faster, pumping all this blood to the bigger body. Your heart is pumping harder. It's growing. That's the danger. We don't know the long-term effects of insane, egregious steroid usage. We don't know. I'm basically a freedom kind of guy. If you feel like that's where you want to take your life, it's your life. As long as it's not hurting anybody else, by all means, take all the steroids you want. They should be legal. However, as a father and as a man who has gone down that path, or almost gone down that path, I've been pretty sane. I haven't gone super crazy with it, right? I just want, and even if this gets a ton of dislikes, hypocrite, no, I'm not. Like, I've been to one. I went and I did mentorship for inner city youth who are addicted to heroin. 16 years old, Middletown, Ohio. Heroin capital of the country. And guess what? They'll bring people in who were heroin addicts, telling their firsthand story and account. Think of it as a scared straight program. I want to tell y'all, it's kind of like a scared straight program. You guys have to realize that for every action you take in life, there's a reaction. It could be positive, it could be negative, it could be neutral, but there's always going to be a reaction. When you take steroids, you are accepting that there will be short and long-term risks. There very well could be positive, could be negative. There will be some inherent result from that choice. You need to learn what those are before you dive into the lifestyle. Steroids aren't just, I'm going to take one cycle and stop. Steroids are something that you take one cycle, you stop, you take another cycle, you take another cycle, and then you just stop stopping. And you just go. Because you have one goal in mind, is to get as big, muscular, and strong as possible. And then you start hanging out with other steroid users and you become friends. It becomes a lifestyle. What I'm here to do is warn you, hey, if that's where you want to go, that's great, but just realize there are risks involved. Then weigh your options. If you feel you can pay your bills with bodybuilding, realistically, nobody watching this video statistically will be able to. Realistically, by all means, I'm not going to tell you how to make your pay your bills. I made this, my wife and I talked about this last night before I even heard about the Flex Wheeler thing. I have a lot of friends who go into bodybuilding. They use it as a way to provide for their family, right? So they're taking risks, health risks, every time they do it. Every day of their life is a health risk. I've been hospitalized for exhaustion because I'm a CEO, I'm a workaholic. Who am I, just because I'm working, to cast stones on someone providing for their family by doing something different? We're all taking risks for greatness. It's inherent. If you want to be great at something, you're taking risks. If you want to be in the NFL, hey, guess what? You're going to have CTE later on, right? If you're going to play NFL lineman, your knees, you're going to have trouble walking in your 40s and 50s. If you want to be an elite power lifter, just talk to Ed Cohn. You'll probably end up having hip replacement. If you're going to be a boxer, you risk dying. A young boxer with the last name of Day died just 2 weeks ago in my hometown of Chicago. My coach was there at the fight. If you're going to be great in anything, you're taking risks. It's inherent. Whether it's working too much, whether it's training too hard, or whether it's going up against other elite athletes. If you're going to play soccer professionally, I guarantee you, when you're walking in your 50s, your hip ain't going to feel that good on your dominant leg. So what I'm getting at, guys, there's risk in everything you do. So I need you guys to just put that in perspective and realize that before making any decision on anything you do in life, to always weigh the positives and negatives, okay? That's all I got for you. All the best to Flex Wheeler. Comment down below with any comments, concerns. Do you think what I said is right, wrong? Do you think what I said is on point or stupid? Do you think I'm a hypocrite? Let me know. As you know, on YouTube, I don't delete shit because, well, it's fucking YouTube. So anyway, that's what I got. I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel, click the bell for notifications so you know when I upload a new video, because YouTube doesn't give a fuck about subscriptions, and like the video and tell your friends about it. And again, if you have time and you have a way to do it, be sure to give your well wishes to Flex Wheeler, whether it's on social media or whatever. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Look who I ran into in LA.
Good to meet you. I've been watching your videos a long time. Tell me about this protein bar.
So it's the Outright Bar, man. It's all natural ingredients, made with real food. None of that. You ever want to work out? You want just a little snack, a little bar before training, but you know the other bars might give you a gut bomb.
Right.
This is something that doesn't have any prebiotic fiber, no glycerin, no sugar alcohols. It's whole, real food.
That is a tasty bar.
Really?
It's easy to eat. It's not too chewy. Normally eat something like this with a big ass glass of milk. That's good.
So it's like a cookie.
Really good. No, it's not good.
If you want, we also have the, want to try the almond butter one while we're here?
Love to.
All right, so
That's
this
a
is,
badass bar.
this is made with almond butter, Steve.
That's a winner too.
Really?
He's badass. Good protein bars. Where can people find these?
Well, they can find it at many retail stores. You can find it at tigerfitness.com.
Two badass protein bars. So they get two double middle fingers up from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's the bottom line.